Previously on the Smurfs of the Law, the glowing trail led to the saboteur, a Smurf driven by frustration and the need to be seen. As tensions grew and a fire broke out, accusations flew and emotions ran high. Now, the truth comes to light in this final chapter. Welcome to Chapter 7. He quickly runs over a small stone bridge, disappearing into the dense forest as the village behind him begins to grow quiet under the night sky. Hefty arrives at a window where Smurfette is inside, and Hefty Smurf urgently asks if she has seen the Smurf carrying lanterns, but she shakes her head, unsure of his whereabouts. Hefty Smurf warns Smurfette to keep her doors locked because it might be dangerous, while the village Smurfs begin searching everywhere, determined to find their missing prisoner. While others searching, Smurfette steps out of her home, insisting she must speak with Papa Smurf as she had promised, hoping he can provide some guidance about the troubling situation. Inside Papa Smurf's house, Smurfette explains that the Smurf with lantern fled into the woods claiming innocence, and she finds the whole story very strange and confusing. Papa Smurf listens thoughtfully while mentioning that the other Smurfs have scattered in different directions searching. Papa Smurf decides that the next morning they must carefully inspect the pantry, believing that unlocking this mystery is crucial before the situation worsens. He advises Smurfette to get some rest for the night, saying they cannot afford to lose focus, and she agrees, bidding him good night as they prepare for the challenges ahead. A Smurf suddenly stops Smurfette in the dark, demanding to know who she is as she approaches cautiously. Smurfette quickly identifies herself, but the Smurf warns her to get back inside immediately due to a saboteur loose in the village. The Smurfs explain that they will be patrolling all night to prevent any evil plans from unfolding, as law enforcement Smurfs are overwhelmed and must stay vigilant. Smurfette think that old Smurf carrying lanterns has headed safely into the woods, and safer to stay there. In the quiet forest, a lone Smurf with lantern hides behind a tree while an owl hoots above, adding to the night's eerie atmosphere. The next day, Smurfette arrives at a damaged building, examining it carefully and pondering the situation. Papa Smurf appears and announces that he is starting to piece together what actually happened during the recent events. Papa Smurf asks Smurfette about the exact time the fire began, and she recalls it started around 3 o'clock in the afternoon while she was getting a cup of herbal tea. Papa Smurf confirms that the fire started at 3 o'clock, just as Smurfette recalled. Papa Smurf tells Smurfette that he must organize a reconstruction effort and instructs her to find the Smurf carrying lanterns to help guide them. He grabs her arm firmly, showing urgency in his task. As they head out, other Smurfs question Smurfette about going into the woods, warning her about the saboteur. She reassures them not to worry, showing her confidence and determination. In the forest, Papa Smurf calls out for the Smurf with lanterns, identifying himself clearly. They both look around carefully, trying to find any sign of the Smurf who can lead them. Smurfette notes that the Smurf with lanterns is not revealing himself, wondering where he is hiding. Suddenly, a Smurf appears from inside a big tree, startling Smurfette, who lets out a loud cry. The Smurf of lantern calmly announces his presence. Papa Smurf urges the Smurf with lanterns to return with them to the village to gather evidence of their innocence. Smurfette agrees to follow, showing trust in Papa Smurf's leadership. Back near the village, two Smurfs spot the group returning and exclaim that the saboteur has been caught. Their alarm suggests that the situation might finally be coming under control. Papa Smurf informs the group that the captured Smurf will eat and rest for now, and that this afternoon they will reenact the events leading to his first arrest. The Smurfs listen attentively as they prepare for the reconstruction. Brainy asks about the arrest after the fire, but Papa Smurf clarifies it is not from the first arrest. Two Smurfs of law express their certainty about the culprit's guilt, showing frustration over the uncertainty of how long he will remain detained. Their firm belief in the Smurf's guilt. Later that afternoon, Papa Smurf instructs Smurf of Lantern to go into the pantry and perform as he did before, while the other Smurfs watch. The designated Smurf agrees obediently, ready to play his part in the reenactment. Papa Smurf asks Smurf of Law how the arrest happened, and Brainy explains that he has been following the tracks carefully, using a magnifying glass to trace the movements. Brainy Smurf suddenly realizes he has misplaced the magnifying glass and asks where it could be, but Papa Smurf tells him to keep going without it. Brainy Smurf points out that the tracks lead directly towards the pantry, confirming the path taken by the suspect. With determination, Hefty Smurf declares he bashes a big kick at the pantry door. The Smurfs follow closely as they piece together the events of the first arrest. Hefty Smurf explains how the suspect tried to escape through the window but struggled to get through, making it difficult for him to flee. Brainy proudly states that he intervened and helped Hefty Smurf retrieve the suspect, showing his bravery and teamwork. Papa Smurf listens attentively. Papa Smurf questions how Brainy managed to reach the suspect with only one hand, expressing curiosity about the technique used. Brainy looks slightly puzzled but ready to explain. Papa Smurf inquires further, concerned about the lost tool. Brainy admits that he must have misplaced his magnifying glass somewhere. Suddenly, Brainy spots the magnifying glass in a pot above a barrel, but Papa Smurf quickly warns him not to touch anything to avoid disturbing the scene. Papa Smurf suggests revisiting the timeline of yesterday's fire and asks Brainy to recall the exact time the flames were first noticed. Brainy thoughtfully tries to pinpoint the moment. Papa Smurf corrects Brainy, saying the fire must have started a few minutes later, urging patience to verify the details carefully. Brainy questions what difference that small time gap could possibly make. Papa Smurf confidently points to the sunbeam shining through the skylight at that precise hour, using natural light as evidence to confirm the timeline. Brainy agrees, recognizing the importance of the exact timing. Papa Smurf tells Brainy to watch what happens when the light smurfs, while Brainy looks confused and asks what smurfing means. Brainy scratches his head, admitting he doesn't understand the situation at all, still puzzled by the strange Papa Smurf terminology. He then points out that the light doesn't seem to do anything unusual as it shines on the floor, clearly showing no visible effect. Suddenly, Brainy yelps in pain as the sunlight concentrated through Papa Smurf's magnifying glass burns his tail unexpectedly. Rubbing his burned spot, Brainy exclaims that the concentrated sunlight actually causes a burn, surprising him with this new discovery. Realizing the cause, Brainy thinks aloud that the magnifying glass must have focused the sunlight, accidentally igniting the rocket crate nearby. Papa Smurf and the other Smurfs confront Brainy Smurf about his role in the fire, while Brainy insists his experience was much trickier than it seemed, maintaining his innocence. Brainy angrily blames the Smurf of Lantern for being suspicious, but the Smurf with Lantern retorts that it's wrong to accuse him and questions his shame in doing so. Finally, Bryant Smurf admits that the Smurf with Lantern was right and offers his sincerest apologies, while Smurf with Lantern says he should have considered the idea sooner. Brainy declares that he no longer feels worthy of his duties and surrenders his whistle to Papa Smurf, who hesitates and asks if he is sure about this decision. Hefty Smurf, showing solidarity with his chief, also gives up his baton as well. Papa Smurf asks who is willing to replace the resigned Smurfs of law, but everyone hesitates and denies volunteering, explaining that the job is not about doing it every day. One Smurf suggests that everyone should make an effort to respect the code themselves, and another agrees, believing they could manage without designated law enforcers. Still concerned about potential conflicts, a Smurf asks what they should do if disputes arise and no one is assigned to enforce the rules. The group unanimously scream, "We go to Papa Smurf's house." Papa Smurf reflects quietly, acknowledging that although he has tried to change things, they never seem able to escape their fate. As evening falls, the fair's closing ball unfolds with lively music and dancing, bringing joy to all the Smurfs gathered. Some express disappointment that there are no fireworks this year, lamenting the missing spectacle. Others voice their dislike for the Smurfs' fireworks, creating a humorous contrast to the festive mood. Despite the mixed feelings about fireworks, the celebration continues without any trouble or sabotage, marking a peaceful and successful end to the event. That concludes the Smurfs of the Law. Thanks for joining this Smurfy journey. If you enjoyed the story, give it a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more magical adventures. Until next time.